Hello, everybody. Happy Giant Week. When I got back from Minnesota, I was really torn up, guys. To be honest, I was really torn up that Wifey didn't get that video of me in the end zone yelling at Ezekiel Elliott. It was just like it was a moment. It was a moment, and when I saw him laugh, and I knew that he heard me say it is over. That he actually heard it was a lot, and that took a lot out of me. But when I got home here, all those technical problems I've been having, I took the time to rebuild everything. I actually gutted out my Mac, and I put a fresh copy of Sierra on it. And everything is running nice and smooth now. Everything is nice and clean. Almost all my wires. You can see a few wires over there in the corner that I got to bind up and hide and tuck under there so you can't see it anymore. And then probably right after the season, I'm gonna show you all this stuff just in case you want to do this. In case this is something that you're interested in, I want to show you all my lights and all the video cards and the cameras I have to use. You might not have to use it because, like, for instance, that new Facebook camera. If you see my Facebook live shows, you see that new camera I have. It is so much easier to connect and do a live show with that because all you have to do is a couple of things on your phone and you're live. Rather than here, I've got wires coming out of this camera going into that card, going into the computer, and every time you change something, it's just a whole bunch of stuff. All right, first thing I want to address, it's kind of a long video. First thing I want to address is expectations. Right now, it's hard. Another thing, it's hard for me to say anything about this football team because you don't want to be too far over here. There's really nothing to say on this other side. You have to kind of like manufacture bad stuff to say about this football team. So the expectations I have, for me personally, this is me personally. For me personally, we overachieved at week like 9 or 10. After that, after we, went so long without our former number one quarterback, the running game appeared to be, working at that time. We had won 9 football games, week 10. We had won 9 football games, which puts us over 500, which was a barrier that we couldn't get through for a while there. So that was an indication of the page being turned to the future. Now, teams don't do this. This is literally blowing my mind. You usually have to suffer for a good while going from one good quarterback to another good quarterback, and especially to from one pretty good era to another pretty good era. Hopefully it becomes a great era or whatnot. You really don't have that. You really have lulls, and you can imagine the fans in places like Cleveland, you know what I'm saying, when they keep trying over and over and over and they just can't get the formula right, so when you think about perspective, you have to give your due to Jerry Jones. And I know we've suffered for a long time, and I'm telling you, if any fan base, they can talk about us all they want to, about us. Stephen A. Smith can talk about our Cowboys fan base or whatever, but to be honest, we have suffered. We have turned on ourselves in these last few years. We've gone through so much, and to finally have a window into a future where it looks like it's pretty bright. That's why I can't get too down if we lose in any of this season, because if you're honest and you're looking at the games, you know that we do have significant holes in our football team. Now, the strengths in our football team are doing such a good job that it's overshadowing these weaknesses. And it is possible, because I was telling somebody the other day, if I'm playing the Dallas Cowboys in the playoffs, I am scoring last. I am not giving you a chance to come back on me or anything like that. I'm going to put myself in the position where I have to go down the field last and beat you with a field goal or beat you with a touchdown and not give you a chance to come back and beat me, because I feel like we can do that. I feel like our offense will be able to do that. Our defense may let us down, and you've seen throughout the season our defense has let us down in certain situations, and our offense has bailed us out. So I can see that happening. However, let me transition into however, in this offseason, I've said it many times, there's going to be a line of guys, NFL players, around the corner begging to get into Valley Ranch to play defense for the Cowboys. I mean, we're going to have our pick of the litter, and there's some big names. I mean, one of my favorite players in the NFL is Eric Berry, and if somehow that turns out that we can somehow finagle that, and Kansas City can't afford him, because I know Kansas City wants him. That's not them. But Kansas City, it's like this with Kansas City. This guy, you thought he had cancer, and he was in a battle. You didn't know if he was going to ever play again. You didn't know if he was going to ever get him back. And as a business, you had to move on and allocate your money in different ways. So maybe that happened, and then he comes back, and not only is he worth, what he was worth before, but he might be worth a little bit more. Eric Berry's gonna get paid because he's that good. I mean, he's playing on Ed Reed level out there right now. And if you saw the game last night, he was playing with such intensity. It was ridiculous. But I can see a killer like that coming to our defense in free agency. Another one. Hey, you heard it here first. And this is gonna make a lot of you cringe, but I don't care. But if there's a good chance that this is the last game that last week was the last game JPP plays with the Giants. And JPP has been a literal force. I was doing like this at JPP versus Free, So put that out there. But JPP probably won't be back with the Giants. And if he's a free agent, that's another guy that will be a Charles Haley type influence on the defense. He was the catalyst, and the reason why they may not be able to get him back again is they didn't know what was going to happen with his hand and all that kind of stuff, and he'll be able to come back and all that kind of stuff. Then they allocated all this money to that defensive line with Olivier Vernon and all that kind of stuff like that or whatnot. So hey, I don't care. I don't care. Look, I hated the San Francisco 49ers more than you could ever hate the New York Giants at this moment. I hated those 49ers. When Charles Haley came, I was like, ah. So, look. All right. And with the Giants game, again, keep the JPP going. That was a huge loss for them. I think we're going to try to hammer them again with our running game. That's our main thing, and control the football. I was going to say keep the ball out of Eli's hands, but man, you get good things. We need a turnover. We hadn't had turnovers in a long time. So, hey, we got to get some turnovers if we let Eli throw. But again, Beckham is uncoverable. We don't want to give the offense too much a chance to, display their weapons. So just pound them with Ezekiel, and come out of there with a victory and come on home. These next three games are, in my mind, they're huge to me because they're against teams that we might see again in the playoffs, against playoff teams that could be in the playoffs or whatnot. So we're going to have to play up. I don't want to see Romo playing those games. Dak needs the reps. Dak is not nearly experienced enough to sit down. I mean, it's even ridiculous for me to even say for Dak to sit down and let the backup go on because you don't want him to get hurt. No, man. You got Romo. If he get hurt, you put him out there and you let him see as much as he can see, especially against three teams that absolutely need victory. So they're going to throw everything they have at Dak. So he's going to get a good chance to see everything in these next 3 weeks. So no, I do not want to see Romo. And since I brought Romo up, I've been wanting to say this. This is my final thoughts on Romo, because I don't want him to go. It's been over in my head over. I don't want Romo to leave this football team. I don't think it's smart for Romo to leave this football team. I think it's best for this football team and best for Romo to stay here. I think it's great for this football team if Romo stays here, becomes our backup quarterback, and takes a pay cut, of course, Let us load up on the other side of the defense. Let Romo still back up for 2 years, maybe 3 years, as long as he can go. But he will be bridged between backup quarterback and offensive coordinator. Let him go over into the offensive coordinator and keep Romo in the Dallas Cowboys fold, and let him still make money, and let him still, be a part of what this thing is going to happen in the future. Because if he goes to a team that's not any good, okay, he can't go to Jacksonville, he can't go to Cleveland, he can't go to any of those teams and think that that things are going to work out well for him, because it's really probably more than likely not. You know what I'm saying? And then what he has in this contract will be all he'll get. He won't be able to get money for coaching with them in the future or whatnot. He'll just have to find money and whatnot. With the Cowboys, he can still get that same money he's pushing into his coaching. And as a coach, Jerry Jones, especially with Jason Garrett, Jerry Jones has shown that he will pay you as a coach. He will severely pay you. He might do Jason Garrett like he did Wade Phillips and pay Romo more than Jason Garrett, just to give him that money back or whatnot. And just in good favor for him to take the pay cut for us to take care of the defense or whatnot. I just think that's the best for all situations. I didn't want to see Romo die out there on the field with the Dallas Cowboys, and I really don't want to see him die out there on the field with the Jacksonville Jaguars, if you know what I mean. That's not the way for that dude to go out at all. Okay, last thing, I'm gonna be playing tonight. I got a big game in my Madden League over at my Shango Live channel. I'm turning it up. I didn't know I had this channel for like a couple of weeks ago, and so now I'm turning it up and I'm starting to do most of my Madden stuff over there. I will probably stream it live here. No, I can't do it here yet. But I'll be streaming it live at Shango Live. But this guy that I'm playing, he's 8-2. My Cowboys are 8-2. We have a rivalry that goes back to when he was 17. My neighbors called the police on me because I was yelling and screaming at him, and they thought I was yelling and thought it was domestic dispute. My little nephew was there, who's now a huge gamer. It was all scared, and the police came to the door. It was crazy. It was one of the most memorable USFL moments. And he's back. He's just as cocky. He's done with college, and we're probably going to have a really a crazy game today, because I'm nervous right now. I tell you, because he brings so much pressure. He brings pressure all the time. He's one of those guys that just keeps banging at you, So that's on my mind, and I got to play that tonight over at Shango Live. And then Sunday we'll be ready for the Giants Sunday night. And then I'll tell you about the holidays, because that's a whole nother thing with me being gone, and I'll be doing everything from my laptop. All right, now I'm rambling, and I'll let you go. But I'm glad to be back, and I feel good because I can walk in here and I can sit down, and I can just make a video, and I can walk back out, and I can go get my kids or whatever. This is a nice, clean setup, and I hope no more technical problems. All right, holla at you. Peace.